Hey guys, welcome to the TechSource.tv. My name is Dan, and today we're doing something a little different. We are reviewing Far Cry 3 for the PC. Now, that might be a little different. Most of the reviews will probably be done on consoles, so we'll be reviewing this from a PC perspective and a PC user perspective. Now, what does that mean to you? Well, not really much if you are not playing it on the PC, but there's a few things I'll be hinting towards the PC about, running it on different hardware and installing it and things like that. Some of the things that I found. On a console, it's just kind of more of a pop in the disc and play. Yay. On the PC, there's a lot of other cool things to do. So if you don't really play games on PC, you should really check it out because it's a lot better. So stick around. We're reviewing Far Cry 3 today on the TechSource.tv.
You come to fuck with me in my own house! For a bitch! For C-Swap!
So let's talk about the story and the gameplay of Far Cry 3. So Far Cry 3 starts out in an island called Rogue Islands. So it's divided up into several different islands. The islands, when you start out in the game, you don't really know this, but as the game progresses, you find out. So let's start off. At the beginning of the game, you start off as a character called Jason Brody with all his friends. And I can't really remember all their names because they're not really all that memorable of characters. You're just kind of like, cool, I saved my buddy. Awesome. So, yeah, you start out with all your friends. You're partying. You're having a good time. You're on vacation. You're like, yeah, this is awesome. And then all of a sudden, everything and shit hits the fan. And then you meet a guy named Voss. He's the ultimate bad guy you never want to meet. And he's an absolute psychopath. And the guy, whoever does the voice acting of him, does an amazing job and just makes you, every time you meet that character, you're just like, oh my god, this guy is awesome. He's like the best bad guy ever. So it's pretty sweet. And he does an excellent job of playing Voss, whoever it is. So he does... The enemy is just, it makes the game really awesome. In the beginning of the game, your character is kind of just some regular old guy, so he's a real, kind of just, wimp. And as you progress in the game, you see him kind of change and level up. You change, and you see him progress into, a real badass. And near the end of the game, he's like, I want to kill everything. And I'm like, I'm going to take everything down, and I'm going to kill Voss, and I'm going to kill this guy. I'm going to take all that down, and I'm going to take over this island. And it's pretty awesome how you see him transform into that kind of, like warrior or soldier would be a better way to put it. He's got a whole arsenal of guns and weapons. There's tons of other things you can use at your disposal. So you can take guys down stealth, or you can snipe people from halfway across the map with a suppressed sniper rifle, or go for a full-on 50 cal sniper rifle and just blast people from way far away, or kill people up front with a shotgun, or stab them with a knife and do cool different takedowns from ripping people off docks and killing and pulling them from behind, and throwing knives at people, burning people with flamethrowers, shooting rocket launchers, throwing Molotovs, grenades, C4s. There is so much different ways you can take enemies down and kill things. Running them over with cars. So you'll be driving in the city and they're driving down the road and you'll be like, oh, there's some enemies on the road. I'm gonna go hit them with my car. And I love doing that. It's fun. So, as well as just as the story progresses, it gets really interesting, and you just have a lot of fun doing it. So, as you're dealing with all these cool different guns you can use to play the game in different ways you can approach things, there's a lot of incentives to play the game stealth and at points, and you get extra bonus points for playing stealth. And definitely playing the stealth approach is a lot harder because you're trying not to get detected. And I find that a lot more fun than just running out and gunning. Half the time that might actually get you killed more often than normal. So you have to kind of be a little clever with the way you are. And there's things in the game that actually help playing stealth, and it shows, and really the game, I'd say, is more meant to be like that. Played at a little bit of a slower pace and playing stealth. So other cool things about the game is lots of different enemies you can go after, and there's lots of cool ways you can tag enemies so you know where the enemies are and you know where they're looking, and you can do that. So that's really cool. And it shows you what enemies what. So that's awesome. As well as playing through the game, you have to hold more weapons and hold more ammo and hold more syringes to heal yourself and things like that. You have to go hunt and do craft things, kind of an RPG element. As well as I said before, you level up and you get skills, more of an RPG element to this first-person world shooter game, which is pretty awesome. The crafting is kind of neat, but I'm not a big fan of. The crafting, you kind of have to like, you have to go kill this animal and get their hides, and then you have to get so many hides to, to make this item, and so you can hold a second weapon or hold a third weapon or have a bigger sack to hold more loot or have a bigger wallet to hold more cash. Because in the beginning, I think you can only hold like $1,000, and then later in the game, you can hold over like $5,000. So that's pretty awesome. So. And you use money to buy weapons, reload ammo, things like that. You can pick ammo up off the ground. You can pick up weapons from dead enemies, but you can also ultimately customize your weapons to be suppressed weapons, have different attachments, things like that, extended clips, like cool things like that. And you can also, buy different things and different guns. And as you unlock, you take over radio towers, you get free weapons anyways. So most of the time, I didn't really see myself buying weapons. The only things I bought were the attachments. And the attachments are generally $300 to $400. So they were pretty cheap, and you'd be able to buy them pretty quick. And I just reloaded ammo whenever I went back. And I'd say the main thing when you're crafting is just get the skills that make it so every time you craft or get a herb, you get twice the amount. So then you don't have to do it twice, and you're not spending all that time doing it. So you save yourself time in the long run. So that's not bad. So overall, the gameplay is really fun. There's tons of different ways you can do things, and it's a pretty long-ass game, too. And there's so many other things you can do other than just the main story that'll get you to come back and play the game more. Like side missions, side quests, and little mini-games as well, like throwing knives and playing poker and little races. So I want to talk about the multiplayer in the game. Now, there's a few modes in the multiplayer in this game. There's not much to it. Now, there's a deathmatch, team deathmatch, and then there's like a firestorm mode, which is like taking over points and setting them on fire. And then there's a transmission point. You have to just hold points. So it's kind of like you just kind of have to hold their point. It's kind of like King of the Hill. There's multiple points in the map. You kind of have to hold it. So it's kind of neat. They're fun. But the game, I find, doesn't really like that faster type gameplay. It seems clunky when you're sprinting. Sometimes you get hung up on things that are like kind of jagged, like rocks and stuff. But it's still fun. You play with a couple friends on a LAN party. It's awesome. There's a map editor, so you can make different maps. I noticed when I played Far Cry 2, me and my friends, when it first came out, we'd edit the map. We'd make like races through the freaking jungle and make like giant jumps and stuff. And I wouldn't doubt we'll do the same thing with Far Cry 3 and just do random ass stuff, because you can do that with the map editor. So there's like endless possibilities with that. And then there's a co-op mode. You can play with up to 4 friends, and that's pretty fun too as well. So, but it does get repetitive, and it's very linear compared to the main game, which is kind of like a meh. And you're just kind of shooting off waves of bad guys. So it's like, you gotta run here and then do this and blow up the ship. It's like, okay, cool. And then just do that. And then, yay. And whoever got the highest points wins. So yeah, it's fun with friends. If you're playing with friends, when I was playing it online, yeah, it was pretty fun. And every time I played, I always came up on top of the team. So that was pretty easy, I guess. As well as the multiplayer at the end of the levels, you get to like humiliate whoever had the highest points in the opposite team, and then if you have the highest points, you get to humiliate them. It shows like the 3 highest scoring people on your team, so that's kind of cool. Or give them mercy, so that's neat. So the multiplayer is alright, but it's not memorable, and I'd say best way to put it is it's a good breakup between the main games. It's a little faster paced gameplay than the main game, because it's not as big, and the map's a lot tighter, and you got a lot of people. But it's still, again, it's like every other first-person shooter multiplayer. You get level up, you get add-ons, things like that. You get different loadouts. They're all the same nowadays. So if you played one multiplayer for first-person shooter, you've played them all.
Everywhere I looked, doing the exact same fucking thing, over and over and over and over and over again, thinking, this time it's gonna be different. No, please. This time it's gonna be different. I'm sorry. I don't like the way you are looking at me. Okay? You have a fucking problem in your head. Do you think I'm bullshitting you? Do you think I'm lying? Fuck you! Okay? Fuck you! It's okay, man. I'm gonna chill, man. I'm gonna chill. The thing is, alright? The thing is, I killed you once already. And it's not like I am fucking crazy. It's okay. It's like water under the bridge.
So let's take a minute and talk about running the game on the PC, installing it, some of the things, and then we'll overall talk about graphics and some of those things. So, all right, first off, my PC I ran it off is nothing high-end. I got a GTX 480, which is kind of older now, 2 generations old. If you're talking about newer cards as equivalent to, I'd say probably a 660 Ti. That's not really that great. It's like a $300 card. And my card, when it was new, was a lot more money, but I got mine for like $200. So I got a really good deal on it. And I bought mine new, like 2 years ago for that. So it was really awesome. So And I was got a 930 running at 4 gigahertz, and plenty enough, more than enough RAM. So my system was more enough to run the game. So I was able to run on high, ultra high. I mean, everything cranked, VSync on, 2 times anti-aliasing, and as well as running at 1200p while recording fraps. And I never got anything below 30 frames per second, which is awesome. Even during giant explosions and anything like that, no hiccups or anything like that. Got a few crashes, but I think that was because of fraps. As soon as I turned fraps off, everything ran milky smooth and the frame rate went up even higher. And especially the newest NVIDIA drivers, I didn't experience any issues at all. So once I upgraded to the latest NVIDIA drivers, it ran a lot better. As well as the game, they already had a patch right out of the hole as soon as I installed it. It's version 1.1. I wouldn't know there's going to be another version later on, just to fix a few multiplayer glitches I found where rooms and lobbies wouldn't work. If you quit the lobby, rejoin the lobby, then they worked, which is weird. A lot of people are experiencing this issue, so I think this will get patched very soon, which I hope it does, and I really hope the PC version doesn't get neglected from patches. And this is an issue with most modern games. Some developers, I'm not going to mention any names, are very prone to doing this, and it's not Ubisoft, it's someone else, another big name developer. So that's that. The game runs great, and let's talk about visuals. So visuals, the game looks amazing. It's a very stunning game, very well detailed. You can see like all the grains, like all the detail on rock, or like the tracks in the dirt, things like that. The water's nice, like especially when you go in and out of water, it looks really nice. Crashes, explosions are awesome. So there's a lot of good things. The only complaint I have really about the visuals of the game is they could have had more things that deal with physics, like destructive buildings. So if you threw a grenade, building would explode, kind of like the first Crisis. I would love to see that. That's definitely a game that was begging for it. First time I threw a grenade, I was like, let's see if this explodes. Yay, didn't explode. That sucks. Oh well, let's go do other things, and let's go burn people with a flamethrower instead, and shoot them from a mile away with a sniper rifle. Or blow them up. So yeah, there's other cool things you can do, but I would love to see destructive territory, like trees being able to be knocked down, things like that. That'd be awesome to see.
And make them all have fun. And we ablaze the fire, make it fun. Them we mash up the place, turn up the bass and make some sound. Boy run, and we will end your week just like a Sunday. We mash up the place, turn up the bass and make them all have fun. Skrillex ablaze the fire, make it fun. Them we mash up the place.
That's a lot of weed.
That's one down, 3 more to go. Awesome.
Alright, so conclusions and thoughts of Far Cry 3 on the PC. Now, the PC version, just want to say a few additive notes. When it comes to installing the game, I don't like how you have to install some other application to run the game. I hate how games doing that, and I hate how modern video games are doing that nowadays. I really wish everyone would just stick to one client, but at the same time, you are also giving monopoly to someone, or just not have one at all, because it really degrades on performance of the game. And I don't like how you have to have that. So that's just a side note for all developers to please stop doing that. But as well as the game is really well optimized for the PC, works good on some relatively older hardware that I have. I wouldn't say my PC's modern by any standards or really fast, because you can get a lot better and you can run a lot faster. So don't worry, you don't need SLI, you don't need Crossfire to run this game, you don't even need an expensive system to run this game. You just need a decent gaming PC with at least, I'd say, a mid-range current video card. So nothing crazy. So I got a GTX 480, runs great on Ultra, and that's at 1200p. So, and that's with everything else cranked and running fraps. So that's not bad. It runs really good on my system. So let's get out of the game. The story, super addicting and a lot of fun, and it's super long. So if you're looking for a very long single-player game, Far Cry 3 is definitely one to look for. Unlike most first-person shooter games nowadays, the single player is less than memorable, and they're all about their multiplayer, which again hasn't changed much. And on that note, multiplayer for this game is just like any other first-person shooter, and it's nothing new. So yeah, if you want to play a first-person shooter with a Far Cry theme on it, it's pretty fun. But at the same time, I'm pretty over first-person shooter multiplayer games. They haven't changed much. So besides that, yeah, the game looks good, plays good, It's got an amazing story that'll keep you playing for hours. Lots of side content to play. There's lots of different ways you can do things and approach things, which is fun. And there's lots of mini games and side missions to keep you playing. So it's a really good game, and if you are looking for getting it, I would highly recommend picking it up for the PC. And on that note, guys, please remember to rate thumbs up to this video if you did like it, and also subscribe to our YouTube channel if we haven't mentioned that already, which is thetechsource.tv. As well as remember to check out our Facebook page and follow us on Twitter at ttechsource, and Facebook is just the Tech Source. And if you want, guys, we have Q&A videos, so please send us questions through either our personal message here or email us. Links and emails and all other info for this video is down in the description below, so please remember to check that out. So we'll see you guys next time here on the TechSource.tv. Dan signing out.